are needed for a property to be at risk of tree root subsidence? Well, in a very basic, the basic sort of synopsis is you need to have a domestic property built on a shrinkable clay soil with a tree in close proximity whose roots might grow underneath the foundations of that property, because it's the drying out of the clay soil underneath the foundations of the property which can cause the issues. What do you think we're going to start seeing or are seeing? I don't want to talk in future terms, because as you're saying, people say, let's stop climate change for our children and our children's children. But no, let's stop climate change now. Arguably, it is now. What do you think we're going to start to see in terms of subsidence and patterns?
Okay, so this is what I think. I think we're going to see two things. First of all, an increase in the overall number of claims that will go up this year. It will be what's termed in the industry an event year. And the second thing I believe will happen, and I know there are different people who disagree with me, and that's okay, and this will be a good year to test it out. I think we're going to start to see an expansion of the areas at risk from subsidence. So if you look, there's probably two things you need to, when you're looking at the ground conditions, we need to know whether the soil is shrinkable. So clay-rich soils, when they're full of water, have quite a large volume, and then as they dry out, that volume shrinks, and that leads to subsidence. So first of all, we need to know whether the soils can shrink and how much they can shrink by. And then second component is whether the summer is hot and dry like this one is. Layer on top of that, tree impacts, as you well know, and you have the perfect storm for subsidence. So the reason I say I'm expecting to see an expansion of the areas is that there's a large part of the country which, not like the southeast where the soils are incredibly shrinkable, but they're moderately shrinkable across much of the country. So as these hot, dry conditions move up from the southeast, where they typically have been in the past, to the northeast, in particular the Midlands, I'm expecting to see more and more claims outside of those traditional subsidence claim areas as well. So check back in. Let's check back in December and see if I'm right on that. But that's what the models I've built are predicting. And that's based on really how where are these moderately shrinkable soils located, and what are the conditions that they're going to be facing in terms of the weather.
We're talking about the amount of carbon dioxide that's in the atmosphere. So everything that we do, whether it is driving our car, which has like a clear emission, where that comes from, but it could be something from when you buy a sandwich. So when you buy a sandwich, the filling of that sandwich has got animal products in it. They will have been fed food. Their food will have been transported from somewhere else. So every kind of step of the process to get to that sandwich has got fuel and energy that's been used in it. And as that fuel and energy is used, it breaks down, it creates gases like carbon dioxide. There are other greenhouse gases too, but for simplicity, we'll think about carbon dioxide. That goes up into the atmosphere, kind of creates the blanket. And what we need to do is start reducing the amount of carbon dioxide that's going up into the atmosphere, because it's the blanket's getting too thick. The tog level is too high, and we need to kind of bring it down.